another ghost town. Actually, another ghost town state park. So today we are over in Elkhorn, Montana at the Elkhorn State Park. And we're gonna be meandering around this state park. This one is very different than Bannock in the fact that there are only two publicly owned buildings, one that I'm in right now. The rest is actually still a livable town, privately owned. People are here. So we're gonna meander the town streets, soaking in the history, but this time we only get to go into two buildings. And this first one, let's explore right now. Oh shit, that's a frog. Welcome to Fraternity Hall. So this hall is thought to have been where they would have had their lodge meetings, their historic meetings, their Masonic meetings, another Masonic lodge. Basically, it's just a large open room with a stage and a frog in the corner. And it's got great acoustics, but yeah, there's not too much to see here. Very different than Bannock so far, but a super cool building. Right? Oh God, get over here. Get over here. Okay. Like that. So, I just don't want fiends anywhere near it. So, how do I see up here without getting fiends near the dead bat? We squeezed by the dead bat and made it into the second story of the Fraternity Lodge. Now this is where they would have had their private meetings. So downstairs probably would have been more a public hall. This more the private Masonic and other organizations that they had in this mining town. This is where they would have had those meetings. So there's two little stages, lots of room for tables and chairs, and great acoustics again. So they could have had some singing events, musical events here as well. So we are gonna squeeze back by the dead bat again and head on downstairs. The assumption is the bat came from there. Very wide open, lots of open areas. So we are gonna, we're squeezing by this bat and getting out of here. So these two buildings, like I said, are open for the public, but they just ask that you secure the door when you leave. Now on to Jillian's. Just next door to the Fraternity building on Main Street is Jillian's, I'm not exactly sure. And they actually don't really know what this building was used for. They're assuming a store or a saloon at one point, but there's just not a lot of documented history. But it's definitely got more personality and less spook vibes. No frogs, no bats, and no dead snakes. We saw a dead snake as we left. So this building has a lot more vibes, and the vibes we like. But again, it's kind of just a two-story open shell, but let's look around anyways. Super cool. Stacy was also here. But we ain't going up those steps. Wow, such cool. There's like 12 layers of wallpaper. This is cool. Someone also loves Brenda Marie. Who cares? Please don't write on buildings. I love with these double doors and windows. Like, can you imagine how cool it would be to sit in here while it rained? Like, you just hear it hitting the roof and you'd have the perfect view. Like, these are huge windows. I don't think the GoPro is gonna do it justice. So it does feel a little bit weird to be walking around town that people live in, but there are interpretive signs. I think this is pretty normal because I've seen some other people walking around. So I'm gonna try not to be like a super creep, but these are the only two buildings, like I said, that we're allowed in, but there's a whole state park and neighborhood and cemetery. So we're gonna walk around, and while we do, I will tell you a little bit about Elkhorn.
Silver fever took hold of Montana in the latter half of the 1800s. Silver production boomed second only to Colorado, and many small towns sprung up around the mines. One such town is this town of Elkhorn, which was founded in central Montana in 1872. Unlike many of the mining camps of the time, which were primarily populated by single male workers, Elkhorn was a family town. At its height, it had around 2,500 residents and was home to the usual Western boomtown establishments, a school, hotel, church, and
behind us are the Elkhorn Mill and Mine. So this was actually Elkhorn's largest producer. Obviously, the city was named after it. It was a 20 stamp mill. So this is a giant complex. We're not allowed up there. There's no trespassing signs and chains everywhere. There's a dirt road that continues up and around. So I'm gonna take that in hopes that we can see it from the top, because it looks like it was an absolutely massive operation. But for now, since I don't know, I'm just gonna stick this photo of what it would have looked like back in the day so you can see just how big it is. And we're just gonna keep taking this dirt road and hopefully we'll get a good view from the top. Who knows? Adventures. So we are just below the mill and mine and above town, and that was actually the mine manager's house. What's wild is that was still standing till 2001 when it caught fire, and from the sign it says it was still full of antiques and toys and furniture. So what a shame to have lost that, but the town came together and they saved the rest of the town from catching fire. So I guess that's, and the forest. So I guess that's a really good thing about the town being resided in, although it makes it very weird for ghost town explorations. So behind us is the Pacific Northwest water tank. So very reminiscent of our Rio Grande water tanks that we see. The Pacific Northwest Railroad was actually brought to Elkhorn and a 4% grade, which they said was extreme. And I was like, have you heard of the rainbow route? Have you heard of it? But it was still a feat for its time back in the day, in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And this was the water tank. So just like Dolores and Rico and all of the other water tanks we have seen, this provided the water for the steam engine. And it looks like actually the rail came straight through here because the mine should be on that other side. So we're going to continue to keep walking and fingers crossed we get a better view. And it is right there, the big old no trespassing sign. So I can't even get a view from that way. So yeah. Okay. I guess we're not gonna go see the mine. We're gonna head back down to town and continue our little tour, and we'll head, actually I think we're gonna head back to the truck for a second. I didn't eat my breakfast and I'm hungry. So I think I'm gonna just eat my breakfast real quick before we continue on. I sound like a creepy stalker, but I just saw two guys, dad and a son, go off in the woods past the water tank. So we're gonna follow because that's in the direction of the mines. If you can't tell, I just want a view. I just want to see it. I get that I can't go explore it like I can in Colorado, but I just want to see it. So we're just gonna, you know, follow at a far distance because I see a tailings pile that way. But I didn't know, like, because so much stuff is marked no trespassing, like, and because people live here, I don't want to get yelled at or shot. I think I'm being extreme. I'm from Arizona. People get shot for less. All right, let's go. Nope, it was just a shortcut back down into town. Can't see the mine. So, we tried. I gotta get rid of Feeney's poop. That's annoying, swinging back there. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Very excited dogs, and Fiends is like in full attention mode to look at said dogs. Came back to the halls to eat breakfast. I know at 11:55 we're eating breakfast, but I just have some decaf cold brew and one of these. It makes a great like iced coffee and a peach. So I'm gonna eat this in the shade of the halls, and then we're actually gonna walk around. I just ran into one of the parks guys that manage these two buildings. He didn't know of a way that I could get up to the mines without trespassing. He said this is their only footprint and everything else is privately owned. So he said, now if people do it, I don't know, but I'm a rule follower, so I tried. But anywho, I'm gonna eat breakfast, and then I think we're just gonna continue to walk around. There's a cemetery, and yeah, I mean, it's old things in beautiful places. You can't really be mad about it. This is complete, and I am feeling more human, so we are gonna continue to walk around. It's really funny because that community meeting that the ranger was here for, literally the entire town I just watched roll over there. So we should have it to ourselves for the next little bit. So let's go. Well, we've actually seen the whole town. So the only other road that I'd seen ended up being private dead end, so didn't take that road. So we are down just below town on Cemetery Trail, and we're just gonna walk to the local town cemetery. And I know that sounds so weird, but I feel like you get such a view of the history of these old mining towns when you visit their cemeteries. So we're gonna take a little meander and check it out. So I thought that road dead ended into the cemetery. No, it's like a mile hike into the woods. So, I mean, obviously a mile's not too far, but just wasn't what I was expecting. That's kind of far from like the town. I haven't seen one quite like that. I guess Bannock was quite like that. It's quite a bit of ways out, so we're gonna meander and just enjoy the woods. It was quite the little climb to get up here. Wasn't expecting that. Kind of had to climb up the side of a mountain. But what does this grade look like? Looks like the railroad grade. And based on the fact it keeps going that way towards the town, I'm gonna assume we're walking the rainbow. Not the rainbow. Oh my gosh, Colorado, man. The railroad route. And that makes a little bit more sense that maybe the town continued out this way, and that was why the cemetery was out here. That makes a little more sense. Otherwise, it's in the weirdest place. We are still climbing. Look how high up we are. Sheesh. I did not expect this. I'm getting a little uncomfortable. So if it's not up at this next clearing, I'm probably gonna turn around. You know, we're in grizzly country. This is new territory for me. I didn't grab my bear spray because I didn't think there was any way in hell that a cemetery was on the top of a mountain, but it is. And so we're getting a little dense and a little far. So I see a clearing. If it's not that clearing, I think I might turn around because I'm just getting uncomfortable. And I'd rather play it safe. I know that's wimpy, but being in grizzly country is new to me. So, you know, I'm just still uncomfortable. Anytime something's new to you, you know, it takes a bit to get comfortable or to get confident-ish. And yeah, this is brand new to me, but I see a clearing. So let's hope that is it, because yeah, we've climbed pretty much up this mountain. So weirdest place for a cemetery ever, but I think it's here. Is it here? No. Where the heck is this cemetery? Depends at the clearing that I saw. This has to be it. If it isn't, we done. Climbed a mountain. Sheesh. It is truly at the top of this hill. And it looks like there's a road to it, so that makes a lot more sense. That people can drive to see their loved ones, because I was like, who's doing this to see their loved ones, man? All right, here it is. Here's the entrance, but whew. So this is very reminiscent of Bannock, with like the wooden fences, and also the lineage. Like this whole family of Smiths is from the 1930s through now. And then of course in these mining towns you often have the unknowns and the wooden markers as well. So yeah, very reminiscent of Bannock, of Silverton. Let's see if we can find our oldest one. "1852 was the oldest I found, but we kind of left on a quicker note. Typically, with mining town cemeteries, you find some hoots. And I don't mean that callously or disrespectfully, but some of the headstones are hilarious. Some of them are just downright, you don't expect them, like trampled by a horse, or shot in the saloon, or shot because I cheated on my husband, something like that. Like, they are wild, and it's really interesting. Or they just are educational, like the King of the Mines, or the Mineral King, or things like that, that show a lot of history. What I saw in here is 1889 must have been a horrific year, because I'm pretty sure all of the town's children passed. Almost, I would say 3/4 of those graves are for children, around 1889, from age 16 down to several days old. And that's just sad. And I know it was a very different time back then, and we didn't have, I mean, it could have been the flu. They didn't have the vaccines that they have now, but I don't think I've ever seen it in that kind of a concentrated bubble like that, in these old towns. And it's just a harsh reminder of how hard this life was and how far away. Now, this town actually had a doctor, but that doesn't mean they had the correct vaccines. I'm going to do a little history, like little research, and see if something did happen here in 1889, avalanche, or, you know, some sort of plague, or, like I said, influenza came through, because yeah, that was unexpected. Usually these are full of history that like make you learn more about the area in like a lighter way, and that just felt very heavy, very somber, and not like a place that I wanted to keep a YouTube channel. It's a good reminder though. It's a good reminder. So we'll stay in here, but we are gonna head back down. The horseflies are driving me bonkers. I've been bit. The saga of the Montana bugs and versus Michele, and they are all winning, is continuing, but we're gonna head back down the trail and back towards town. You ready, boo? I know that was kind of sad. Are you ready, boo? You ready to go back down? You ready to go back down? Made it back to the truck. It got a little toasty, so I have cracked open my Montana beverage of a Waterloo huckleberry cobbler. So if you don't know, Montana, Wyoming area, known for huckleberries. Don't you worry, I have an entire huckleberry video planned, but for now, some ice cold huckleberry water. Fiends had regular water. And we are gonna head out of Elkhorn. Now, I had a very different video planned. I had a very different impression of this town, and I am sure you could tell that throughout the video. Do I regret coming? Absolutely not. Something about being in new states and being in new places is that you have to branch out and explore. I've mentioned already that like I kind of chose the wrong base camp, and I was letting that color Montana. But if I had let Telluride, which isn't my favorite area of Colorado, color Colorado, I might have never gone back. So when you are new to some place, it's really important to branch out and try different areas, and I'm glad I did, because as we were driving in here, we passed Butte, and Butte looks super cool. So I actually think, since this video didn't go quite as planned, that Fiends and I are gonna head back out, go in, check out Butte, see if there's some ice cream or just even a cute little downtown to walk around, just to check it out and continue to find the places that we want to come back and visit when we do come back to Montana and we just find a different base camp. Quite frankly, I think this is why people do RV life and nomad life for so long, because it takes a while to figure out what you like in new states. You can't always expect to just drive into a new state and fall in love with it. You have to find some areas. So although my base camp wasn't the right one, I'm actually finding that I love so many pieces of Montana, and these little explorations like this are helping me out. So would I come back to Elkhorn? Probably not. Very, very different than what I expected. And as somebody who has the luxury of exploring Colorado mines in the way that I do and with the freedom that I do, this felt very stifled. Like, not being able to see the mine or the mill, which are the main attractions for me, was pretty disappointing. Their website definitely portrays this place very, very differently. Even the ranger said they need to redo their website. This is a tiny little footprint. If I was in the area, absolutely come check it out. What I think is super cool is that people do live here. This isn't a true ghost town, and these buildings aren't, for the most part, being left to rot. People are living in them or own them, are maintaining them, and that's actually really cool. If something like this were in Colorado, you can bet your bottom dollar I would be trying to buy an old building and living in it too. But for an explorer like me, or somebody who really likes the true ghost town, true mining history experience, I just felt like I couldn't get to anything. Every road that's on the map was private, every drive was private, every building was private. And so it just felt like, yeah, I could see it, but I couldn't really explore it in the way that I personally like to. So I'm glad I did it. We always love beautiful things, or old things in beautiful places. So I enjoyed our time here, but it is time to hit the road. And like I said, yeah, let's head to Butte. I mean, we did pretty good. We got 11,000 steps in. So we did pretty good for it not being as adventurous as I thought it was going to be. So he's gonna take a little nap, and I'm gonna put some tunes on, and we will catch you in Butte. And yeah, hopefully we can just find something and find another little town to fall in love with. Right, Boo? My goodness, Butte is adorable. It is way bigger than I thought it was. Like, it's gigantic. There is a downtown event going on, which there are people everywhere. But that's also making it very hard to find any sort of parking, and it's 82 degrees, which is a tad on the warm side for concrete and Feeney's paws. So I'm gonna kind of do some loops and just kind of see what we can see. Get away from maybe this downtown event where all the roads are closed. But this is a copper mining town. And y'all, everything is named like a head frame distillery. There's a world of mining museum here. Like, oh my goodness. Like, this is where, like, not in Butte, because I think it's a little too big, but like on the outskirts of Butte is where I definitely needed to base camp. This would have been a great little area. So I did find an ice cream place. We're gonna do that, but I kind of just want to drive around, and that's hard to show you guys because I'm kind of responsible for driving. But man, we are missing out on Butte, buddy. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to find like a block that has a lot of shade so that Fiends' paws could be on the shade is kind of my hope. But so far, I'm near the event, so I can't find any parking. So I'm hoping if I kind of loop around and go a street or two over, there won't be as many people. But there's also like a giant head frame up the road. So I kind of want to loop around and try to find that. This is what happens. But I love these kinds of explorations. Like, I know they're not that entertaining for y'all since I can't really like show you too much, but this is how I find things and how I fall in love with places. Silver Street, High Or, like, come on. This is my kind of place. This is my kind of place. Oh, here's that road that I call Propocalaxtics in Silverton. They have a road named the same way. I'll put it on the screen. It's not even remotely close to prophylactics, but in my world it works. All right, cut down a side street. Okay, let's see what we can find, buddy. I know it's a little too warm for you to be outside though, Bugs. Yeah, it's freezing. It's now 86, so that's way too hot for your tootsies, my love. But you'll work it, so we'll just drive around. But the people, hopefully I can find some stock footage for the people. I'll try. Okay, the event's going on at the giant head frame. What is this place? This is like my kind of place, but like not right this second. There are so many people and so many vehicles, and this is a challenge. But oh my gosh, I am gonna have to do so much research because there's literally hordes of people walking to this giant head frame that has been turned into a stadium. It looks like a venue. This is like my life. Like, whoa. Yeah, this is getting way worse. I thought if I came up on the hill but towards the head frames, I was like doing something good, but I'm just making it worse. At this point, the roads are getting narrower, but oh my gosh, I would love to stay near here and then come like super early in the morning, get a coffee. There are a couple coffee carts, and like walk these streets. See, now Montana's exciting me. Now it's exciting me. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, here's more head frames. Why are there so many head frames? What are they doing up here? That's the Montana Folk Festival. Still don't know what the center is. It's literally at a head frame, so I will find that. But that is what is going on right now. That is why the city is so insane. Note to self. Don't come during the Montana Folk Festival unless you want to watch folk. Okay, we're having a disaster. My cone broke off. I caught it with his cup because it is so hot, but mine is a twist. His is not. So, Phoenix, watch out. Well, basically, I'm trying to get the chocolate out of his so he can eat it. While it's still melting. That was a dog treat, guys. Oh God. This is a mess. I'm a mess. Hold on. Can you get my hair? Shit. Motherfucker. I just dropped it on my lap. Okay. I think I don't even have napkins, guys. Okay. That's good enough. I was gonna take a thumbnail too. Ridiculous. I don't think ice cream should melt that fast. I really don't. It's 86, but it legit, the second I turned around, fell off the cone. And there's like 20 people at the walk-up window. So I was just trying to get Phoenix back to the car. Oh my good Lord. Well, par for the course at this point. Par for the course. Can you lick the outside too? Can you lick the outside and get it clean? Yeah. Well, so we went to Bonanza Freeze, and I wanted to eat outside. Because it's like this old school, like, walk-up ice cream window. They have food and stuff, but I just wanted ice cream. There's so many people here. Okay. Ice cream melting. Well, yeah. No napkins. I need napkins. Sir, this is mine now. Can you lick my hands? Thank you. One way to clean it. Man. And wild. So, we're gonna leave Butte now. Because it's just chaotic here. And super funny. I think part of it is I haven't seen this many people in months. Like, I go days without seeing a lot of people. And this is just a lot of people. And so it feels like extra chaotic. And wild. Wild. Okay. I'm gonna finish this. Get it off my keys. I don't know how. And then we are gonna head out of Butte. I'm gonna try, because I still have lunch. I'm gonna try to find someplace pretty where I can let Fiends run to eat lunch on the way home. I know, it's like 3 o'clock and I'm eating lunch. But anyhow, wow. This video of not going the way I thought. This day's hilarious. Great day, but we're gonna have some memories of this day. Ice cream falling is definitely one of them. Wow, it is all over my lap. Okay. All for you, bud. I just checked in the mirror and I had it all over my face too. Oh, good Lord. Good Lord. That was the most chaotic segment I think I've ever done. Maybe. Could be. Could be. Wait, babe. I'm gonna need a shower tonight. There's ice cream all over you. Not me at the gas station. Literally wiping ice cream off my legs. Going into the gas station because I was so sticky. It was in my hair, it was on my face, it was on my neck. It was all over my shirt. So I feel better now. Went into the gas station. Also got myself a Coke Zero because I'm just feeling it. But the plan is the same. I got gas, I cleaned up. Now it's, we're gonna head back home, towards home, but I wanna find some place pretty and stop and eat lunch. The usual, but I'm just still laughing at the last like half hour of my life. Maybe 45 minutes at this point. Okay. Oh, I think my hair is still sticky. Oh, good Lord. Okay. Okay. Get it together, Michele. Get it. We found a lovely little pull-off. In fact, you'll probably recognize it from our Coolidge video. because it is the Vista Overlook. So the funny thing about this area is there's just not that many roads. So there's only like 2 or 3 main ones that you take. And I've already figured out how to do all of this without GPS, which is pretty cool. So I've got some lunch. Fiends is down in the shade. It is a warmer day today. It's like 80 something here. It was very, very warm in Butte. But I do have some of Feeney's food as well that I'm gonna give him, his Sundays. Because he gets a little extra hungry on these days. Here you go, bub. Can you reach that? Good boy. And then I kept it very simple today. I just have some turkey deli meat, some string cheese, because we love string cheese. I'll share that with Fiends. And then some Quest chips that have gotten bigger and smaller because, let's see, I've gone up and down a little bit. So we're gonna make these pop. Fiends, slow down. They eat so fast. Oh, this isn't good. Oh, guys, this isn't gonna be good. Yay, I did it without making an explosion. So I'm gonna sit here, take in the vista, the little ghost town. Now we can't get killed. So rude. Ain't much. Which is 4:27. Very off today. That's okay. Safely back to the pod. Honestly, we didn't really do anything after that. My GoPro ended up dying, so I just kind of left it there at our little lunch spot. Back to the pod, I've got the hot water tank on because I still feel very sticky, so the bathroom shower didn't do what I needed it to do. So I'm going to take a shower and I am going to make dinner. I have one of those Real Good Foods enchilada dinners. Those are just super easy when you get back. I'm trying to not eat like a teenager like I have been for the last like 10 weeks. So getting back on my ish, and those are just a really easy way when you're back. It is 6:58. I'm tired. I don't really want to make a fancy dinner, so we're gonna take a shower, pop that in. I'm just gonna chill and relax. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next adventure, wherever the road may take us. Hopefully it'll take us to a place where we can explore a little bit more. But it was still a good day, and we still loved seeing all the beauty that Montana has to offer. So, all right, guys, we'll see you later.